Year 12.
Right, here we go. So, fourth form. What's the date today? 21st.
Ooh, is it?
How cool's that? Purple.
Yeah.
Right, so what's the question? Give me the question, please.
How does Stephen Morris use structure and language to provoke his attitude towards Smith and Brooks?
How does Stephen Morris use... Yep. Actually, you don't need to write the question if you don't want to, because you've already written it down. But if you've already started, then go for it.
Can I do it on this page?
Yeah. Attitude towards... Oops. Brooke and Smith. Okay, so I haven't got any of my notes with me because they're all on that image. So you are going to have to tell me what we're writing down. Okay, how many paragraphs?
4.
4 paragraphs. Okay, paragraph 1 is going to be on
Structure.
specifically structure, which means, what does structure mean? The progression and development, yeah, basically. Okay, so it's the progression and development of the idea and then the evidence behind it. Okay, the next paragraph 2 to 4 are going to be on the language. Okay, so the words, yeah. So language features beginning, middle, and end. Yeah? Enough for trivia. Okay? You do not need an introduction. 5-minute paragraphs, or thereabouts. Okay? So there is no introduction. Okay? So all we're dealing here is this bit, we're just simply writing the notes up that we've already made, transferring those annotations from the text into a table so it's easier to see, it's clearer to see, that's what we write from. Yeah? So it's a 2-step process. This is step 3. Step 1, annotate the text. Step 2, put it into a table so you can see what's going on. Step 3, write a response. Repeat. Okay? So, how do we start?
Hey guys, what's up?
How are we going to start?
Stephen Morris.
Good. Stephen Morris.
What's BM?
Beginning, middle, end. Stephen Morris. Now what?
Uses structure.
Does he use structure? Can you use structure? Or he structures his ideas?
Structure his idea.
Better. Structures his ideas or attitudes?
Attitude.
Okay. Towards these men. What does the structure? What does the order show us overall? Does he deviate? Does he flex? Does he bend? Is he consistent with how he feels about them?
Yeah.
No.
So-
Because he changes, he's like aggressive against them, and then he starts like backing them up a bit by saying they're qualified.
Okay, so Stephen Morris structures his attitudes towards these men in a...
By saying they're qualified, it makes them look even more stupid.
Kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So
In a-
balanced way.
In a balanced way. Good. In a balanced way. To present the background of the incident. Brief details about what happened. But
Oh, did you actually write one out?
yeah. But he Stephen Morris structures his attitudes towards these men in a balanced way to present the background of the incident, brief details about what happened, but what does he do?
He uses.
Overall.
Provokes.
But he provokes, or does he encourage us to come up with our own conclusions? Does he manipulate us, or does he direct us to a particular type of conclusion? Good, but he directs us to draw similar conclusions his own. Okay. So we've got quite an overarching statement about how the orders are, the ideas are ordered within the piece of writing. Now let's kind of drill down and have a look at some details. Tom?
What does it say after but he?
Direct.
Direct.
D-I-R. There's an R
Oh no,
there.
sorry, above that. Sorry.
Here, of the incident. I'll try and write a little bit clearer.
What does it say after
Conclusions to his own. Right, let's go to the opening. What can you tell me, based on the notes that we made, what can you tell me about how his ideas are shown to us in the opening? To do with, like, overall structure. Owen?
No.
No? Holly?
Failure.
Me?
Permission.
Okay, so Morris opens the article clearly stating the failure of the, what do we call it, mission?
Yeah. What's not really mission?
It's more adventure.
Okay, cross it out. That's okay, keep going.
But it has a direct point, so it's an expedition.
Please, can you move the book a little bit?
Is that better? Okay, right. Any evidence that we can put in? Any evidence we can put in here? So go into the notes that we've made. Remember, in the structures, we've got quite a lot of stuff, so we don't need to pick up on everything, just the ones that we know that we can feed into. Holly?
Messing about.
Okay. Does that move on? Does he add an extra impression that they are messing about? He describes them as messing about.
Well, he says on line 5, Smith almost led to tragedy.
Okay. What did we write down?
Opens stating failure of mission, headline messing about. And then that's in the structure book.
Okay, so Morris open.
No, wait,
Go on.
wait. I have more notes in there. They didn't take it seriously.
Okay, let's do the failure of the mission. What can you tell me about the failure of the mission? We need to try and nail this to some evidence. Morris opens the article clearly stating the failure of the mission, failure of the adventure, sorry. What does he say in the article?
Beginning of it.
Yeah, the headline.
Always messy.
The headline states boys messing about. Okay. Let's get into the article then, into the actual writing. Any other evidence? A different point perhaps? What about the idea of maybe line 19, the drama began? What did we get before the drama began?
Boys messing around with a helicopter.
B, sorry?
Boys messing about with a helicopter.
Yep, look at the notes we made. Okay, so in the table, yeah, so look at those notes. Bear in mind that when we look at the table and the annotations, we kind of work with them together. Yeah, so what did we say in the table? About the boys, about the drama began bit.
Prepare setting.
Okay, so before we learn about the actual accident, was it an accident? Sorry, I'd already started writing accident, but we can do incident. Okay, Morris sets the scene. Okay, does this kind of add to our anticipation about what's actually going on? Good. Are we anticipating or are we curious? Curious, we want to find out, or are we quite excited about what's going on?
Curious.
Good. About add to our curiosity. Okay, so before we learn about the actual accident, Morris sets the scene which adds to our curiosity. And then he what does he say? Then he writes the drama began. Okay. Where can we go towards? Where can we go next with the point? We need to kind of have one more point to finish the whole structure thing. Something we can maybe scoop up towards the end.
Is that the middle?
Yeah, I think so.
Like emergency.
See?
Emergency.
That's right at the beginning though, isn't it? So here we've talked about the middle of the article. How can we then talk about the way he's sort of progressing his idea to get to the end point? Gabriel?
We could say, so he uses a quote that to demonstrate how good the relation between the East and the West have become, shows how those two boys compared to the Russians.
Okay, I'm going to pause you there because that's a language focus that we will write about. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're still concentrating on what this section's about. So this is about the progression and the development of his idea. Okay, so he said before we learn about the actual incident, Morris sets the scene which adds to our curiosity, and then he writes the drama began. Oh, my pen's leaked. Okay, that's how he's starting the situation. Now I want us to work out as to where he develops that idea. So we kind of need to push towards the end of the writing because I want us to move on to a new paragraph. So we need to kind of finish the structure-y bit. Owen?
I was going to say, I think both men are experienced adventurers.
Okay. Whereabouts does he give us that information? Is it towards the...
It's in the middle.
Okay. In the middle of the account, we are told that our experienced adventurers, that's a quote, okay, this develops Morris's shock that something like this was, whoops, so badly planned. And I've just dropped ink on the table. Okay, full stop. How does he end it?
I was just going to say, can we quickly read it?
Yep, so the drama, right, in the middle of the account, it's supposed to be capital, sorry. We are told that the men are experienced adventurers. This develops Morris's shock that something like this was so badly planned. Okay? He ends his article with Ms. Vesti. Does she mock them? Does she poke fun? Yeah? Poking fun at the serious nature of the incident.
What's her name?
Vesti, when he quotes bottoms kicked. What's Morris's attitude at this point? How's he feeling? What does he think? Is he thinking there's no hope, they can do what they want because they're rich enough, they don't need to be serious, don't need to be responsible? Let's have a think. Morris leaves with the attitude that these two are playing a game and have just been naughty children. Okay? Well,
What did they say after Morris, the third line, in the bottom?
Morris leaves with the attitude, these two are playing a game and have just been naughty children. Now that's taken us quite a long time. And it is a massive paragraph. Okay? here, leaves with the attitude that these two are playing a game and have just been naughty children. Now I said this is probably too big. Okay, so we've actually written a huge amount. Is there anything in that paragraph that actually, if we were to look at it, what could we get away with cutting out and not doing? Gabriel?
So coming from start, so like coming in between start, the middle, and the end.
So here, in this paragraph, what lines in here, what have we written that we don't need? From what we've written here, do we need this opening sentence? Strictly speaking, do we need it?
I think it's quite important to get it on steps.
But have we kind of already done that in the rest of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? So does this opening sentence, does this act as an introduction?
Not really.
Not really.
You sure?
It does.
Kind of does, doesn't it?
It could just be another point. I don't know.
I quite like it, but because this is such a shortly timed question, you don't really need it. So you just need to jump in. Morris opens the article. You don't really need those 3.5 lines. Okay? So with a different colour pen, because we're going through it, and this is practice, remember this is the first time we've kind of written about this in this way, kind of try and block out that bit. Yeah? This is an introduction. It's not needed.
The answer to his own.
Yeah, there. We don't need it. We just need to jump in. Because the rest of it is all right. That bit took us quite a while to write. So let's jump in with the language. This one possibly should be quite shorter, should be a little bit shorter. So let's jump in. Okay, and we'll see how long the video lasts. So, at the beginning, you tell me. Think about the notes, go to the table. What do we write on the table? Because that's basically the paragraph, but in really brief note form. Let's try and form it together.
What
Will?
do you say the form not needed?
Introduction, says intro. Holly?
But
Yep.
the men are annoying, small and insignificant.
Okay. So at the beginning, Morris uses the verb plucked to illustrate, portray, depict, illustrates. Illustrate how he believes the men were saved. His choice of plucked. What did we say? His choice of plucked. So it implies. Yeah. Oops. It implies that these men were simply annoying. Annoying to? Who are they annoying to?
The emergency people.
Good. To the emergency people. Okay, what else did we say? Because I think we can talk about emergency people as well. Gabriel?
He's using childish language to present Stephen Morris that
Their
they are
children.
taking this adventure seriously.
Okay, so He has used childish language Is it with plucked and people? Or just people?
People.
Childish language to mirror the childish behaviour of the men. Does he insult them? Is he rude by saying plucked? What did we say plucked was? When you pluck something, what are you doing?
Says insulting.
It's insulting. So he insults the men by depicting them as small and insignificant to the, in comparison to who? To the, what do we say?
Being the explorers.
Are they insignificant to other explorers? To the military?
What's that?
To the Russians? No, was it the Russians at this point? Who had to save them?
Chile.
The Chilean. To the Chilean vessels and the Royal Air Force.
What's the Royal Navy?
What is that? Yeah.
Was it the RAF or the Navy?
Navy.
What's the Royal Navy?
Who had to, what did the Navy had to do? They had to stop their really important what? What would the Navy do?
Look at
Uncharted board.
Stop their really important good.